Hello, today's our fourth installment of how we can look at VIP or IDIG standard data and really enhance it using modern analytics solutions. Today, we're going to get a little bit more advanced in that we're going to compare total sales volume to population, and we're going to look at the county level. A reason I like doing an analysis like this is, let's say you were looking at California in total, right? And you had distribution all throughout the state, and you were trying to pick out maybe counties that were doing especially well or especially bad, so you know where to target and spend your resources. If you were just looking at total sales volume by county, oftentimes Los Angeles County, just due to the sheer size and population, is always going to show up number one on total volume, right? But maybe if you actually broke it down by total sales versus how many people live in that county, you might get a little bit different look. And that's what we're going to do today. So let's go take a look. Okay, great. Here's our dashboard. Give me a second to orient you on what we're looking at, and then we'll deep dive and see if we can find some insights on this sample data. I say sample data, this is actual brewery data coming out of VIP, but we've modified the details a little bit just to keep the data proprietary. Okay, in the upper left, we just have some high-level statistics of what's going on. Next up, we're looking at some trending by month of, again, we're looking at county sales per capita, and in this case, per capita is going to be per 1,000 people. And then we're going to have a set of filters over here. We'll come back and play around with some of these as we do our deep dive in a second. Okay, this is the state of California. Hopefully everybody's heard of California. It's on the West Coast where I live, kind of a big state. And we're looking at, again, the sales per capita by county. So if you see a dark blue here, that means we're doing really good. So we have great sales penetration into that county for the amount of people that live there. And then if we see kind of the darker orange, brownish type color, that means we're not doing so good. And then finally over here, we're really listing out each individual county. We're breaking them down by also the size of the county, right? If you're have really good sales per capita in a tiny county, that's probably not impacting your overall volume all that much, right? So you want to still stay focused on kind of the larger counties. So that's why we have this graph sorted that way. So you can see our huge counties, large, medium, and then some of the smaller guys down below here. And we have the bar is showing what the sales per capita is, which is why you can see like Fresno is ranked number one, right? And they're the highest at 142. And then let's find somebody on the other side. We have like Kings County, right? So they're 35th out of this list that we're looking at. Okay, so let's drill down and kind of walk through how somebody might use a dashboard like this to get some additional insights. So I'm going to pick some filters up here. So we're going to look, actually, I was going to do brand. Okay. So let's say we have this new school brand. So this is kind of a new brand that we're just releasing, family of beers, right? And I want to start to see, well, where are those doing good and not? So now I could just see by county in total how well they're doing. But let's say I wanted to get even a little bit more detailed. And I know in this case that we're really trying to do well with supermarkets, right? Okay, cool. So I'm going to go ahead and filter on supermarkets. So now we're looking at new school brand, just selling to supermarkets, and I can get some good insights here. Let's say I wanted to do one more thing, and I was especially interested in the southern kind of third of California. Maybe we had a sales meeting involving the reps and stuff who own this territory. So I'm just going to highlight that, right? And now you can see some kind of cool stuff up on the screen is everything else is going to highlight based on just those counties that we chose. So we can see that one of them actually falls in our top 5. We see San Diego County. And then another one falls in our bottom 5, Imperial County, basically 0 sales. So that's a little bit interesting for us to look at. What we can also do is maybe focus on some of these 2 bigger guys. So we have Riverside and San Bernardino County. If we wanted a little bit more detail now, we could just hover over one of those. So I'm doing that over San Bernardino. So what stands out here is not only are we doing poorly, but we're getting worse over time, right? So that's definitely not a good trend. Let's just see kind of what Riverside looks like, and kind of similar. So those might be areas that we want to understand a little bit more what's going on and see if we can turn those trends around. On the good side, let's look at San Diego. Okay, well, this is interesting too, right? So San Diego is actually doing pretty good overall. but they're also trending lower. So maybe this is one where we would also want to dive in a little bit more and see what's going on. So just a few different ways that you can interact with this chart. As you can imagine, you can spin this a lot of different ways using these filters and get a really good feel for how your sales performance is by county. Okay, I hope that was an interesting look and gives you some ideas about how some of these modern or advanced analytics tools can really take your analysis multiple levels above if you're just maybe using Excel or pivot tables today. You can really quickly get to some actionable insights and then communicate it out amongst your team. It's really easy to understand when data is visualized this way. If you have any questions on this, would like to see me demo it further, and especially if you'd like to run some of your data through this dashboard or some of the other VIP specific ones we've looked at, it's super easy. We're just downloading standard reports. I'll tell you what fields and what parameters to do. You send it to me, we upload it into here, and really within a day or two, your team can have access to all these really cool capabilities. So drop me an email or a message, and I'd love to talk to you. All right, thanks for your time. Have a great day.